So, welcome back if you're coming back, and welcome if it's your first time. Spiritual awakening is not meant for satanic rituals or anything that is of darkness in the sense of spiritualism. Because I guess that is the kind of impression that is given to people, especially to those who are considered as people of God. This is done so that people are cheated from their blessings and that they don't really awake to any kind of truth. There is good spiritual awakening and there is bad spiritual awakening. The good spiritual awakening helps you to heal as well as allow you to help heal and uplift other people as well. And the bad spiritual awakening is when you get entangled with the dark side of spiritualism and you use the dark side to get what you want. And it is upon you to choose which side you want to choose. The bad spiritual awakening always promises you to get things fast, but by siphoning other people's energies, which is narcissistic and short-lived. The good spiritual awakening promises you to get your blessing as long as you work on yourself, and after that, you help uplift others after you have truly awakened while through the journey and after getting blessings. In which case, the minute you start getting blessings, which sometimes could be in disguise of towers that you experience, like walking away from toxic things, those blessings keep increasing and increasing each and every time you pass your tests with resilience and consistency in doing the right instead of doing the wrong, by understanding your lessons and leveling up each and every time you pass a lesson. And it is almost sort of like an infinite kind of a blessing that would always be given to you as long as you go on working on yourself for the best of you, to be able to serve others as well in the best way, in the way of God's light and guidance. The bad spiritual awakening could serve the ones who choose it for only a period of a certain time, and then when the devil feels like they've really captured your ego and made your soul to go to the side and just watch, they start overtaking your body and mind to serve their intentions by possessing you, and in the end what seemed to shine starts getting dark in destruction of the individual and those around them who choose to follow in their tracks. And then the dark forces, although they give gifts that the individual could use, just end up using the individual as a slave to serve their purposes. Once upon a time, these individuals had started by innocent images. With time, they started luring others to the dark rabbit hole as sacrifice so that they could continue to get favors from their dark masters who are nothing but just other creations of God, the Most High. Instead of worshiping and glorifying God, they start to glorify these dark forces, claiming that they are their own creators of their own blessings. To a certain extent, yes, God has given mankind the power to be able to manifest their blessings with His permission, but only by doing the things that are in alignment with good ethics and being justifiable. Is there such a word, justifiable? I mean, serving justice. But when they use that gift to destroy others to get their blessings, they are in the wrong. They believe that they are little gods. What is flabbergasting is that how can they believe that when they can hardly, how can they believe that when they can hardly go with a day without eating or drinking or resting, which all of this is given by God, and He could take that away anytime He wished. But because God the Most High is most forgiving, they don't get their punishment immediately. God waits for them to repent because He's most loving and compassionate. So the more their punishment is delayed, they think they are smart, so they still keep doing the worst. And then when it becomes too much and unbearable, they get what they deserve. Karma knocks on the door, which they called for themselves. Actually, they manifested for themselves, and either they are wiped off from the surface of earth, or undergo never-ending demises. Who wants to be in that situation? I know for one I don't, but they don't seem to care, and they take all this as just fables that won't come true, because that is how the dark forces cheat them and convince them that their punishment would never come. That there is no, they are cheated into thinking that there is no higher power and that they won't be punished and that everything is in their hands. They don't know that just that God, the Most High, is just delaying their punishment, which they themselves inflicted on themselves. If it was then, why is it that they were slaving for the dark forces if they really believed that there was no higher power? Why are they slaving for the dark forces? They don't want to be servants of God, the Most High, who created them, but they choose to be servants of the dark forces that God, the Most High, also created. The dark forces had also been created clean before, but because they fell victim to their egos and became slaves to their egos, that's why they ended up opposing God, because they lost God's favor to them by going against God's laws. And they feel they need to take to hell those whom they blame to be the reason why they lost God's favors. I mean, the human being. They blame the human being and they don't blame their egos. Human beings will always be the dark forces' enemies, so it would be silly to join hands with them to go against God, the Most High. I mean, who holds the hand of their enemy to make themselves lose their blessings? And that's our guidance for the moment. And I hope that helps. I'm guided to stop here, because there's someone who seems to be looking at the bad spiritual awakening as if it was stronger than the good spiritual awakening, because they might just be considering to surrender to the dark forces, not realizing that they would be destroying themselves for good when they could have just held on to the truthful way of God and get good spiritual awakening that will give them their blessings. As long as you have hope in God, everything is going to be fine. So let us all be mindful. Do not allow people to lure you away from God, thinking that was shortcut to blessings. It is just shortcut to the self-made hell which you impose on yourselves. And I hope that helps. So with much love, take care of yourselves. Till next time, God bless.